Hi, good day everyone. In this lecture video, we will be presenting 15 products of science and technology that have significant role and effect to our degree program, Criminology. By the way, allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Miss Aveno together with Mr. Delos Reyes, Mr. Mangga, Miss Abad, and Mr. Makiramdam. Okay, without further ado, let's start with our first invention.
CCTV stands for closed-circuit television. It refers to a system of surveillance cameras, monitors, and recording devices that are used to capture and transmit video footage in a closed circuit. CCTV was invented by Walter Bruch and was first used back in 1942 in Germany to capture live video footage. CCTV is associated with a significant and modest decrease in crime, like deterrence, evidence collection, crime detection, and public safety. Gun. It all started in China around 850 CE, when Chinese alchemists accidentally created gunpowder while trying to develop a fountain of youth potion. The greatest inventor was John Browning, arguably the most influential gun designer ever. He also ranks among history's greatest inventors in any field. Exceptional U.S. Navy contract, Colt Model 1900 Side Safety Semi-Automatic Pistol. Then the effect of gun to our program. Gun-related crimes. Guns are frequently used in the commission of various crimes, including homicides, assaults, armed robberies, and organized crime activities. Gun control and policy. Criminologists often study the impact of gun control measures and firearms policies on crime rates. Binoculars or field glasses are two refracting telescopes mounted side by side in a line to point in the same direction, allowing the viewer to use both eyes when viewing distant objects. The inventor of binoculars is Hans Lippershey. In 1608, when he combined two telescopic tubes to examine objects at long distances and see crisper image. He presented his invention to the States General and described binoculars by looking through glasses. It was a telescope to ascertain whether he could improve it, so that one. And what it can contribute to our program. It can be used in surveillance and observations, intelligence gathering, traffic management, search and rescue operations, and crime scene investigations.
Handcuffs. Sir William Congreve in the early 19th century. Sir William Congreve, a British military officer, developed a type of handcuffs known as the Congreve cuff. These handcuffs featured a ratchet mechanism and were used by law enforcement. Sir William Congreve and W.V. Adams made notable advancements in handcuff design. They were not the sole founder of the invention. The connection of handcuffs in law enforcement is handcuffs are a standard tool used by police officers and law enforcement agencies to safely and effectively control or restrain individuals during arrest. Latex gloves. In the early 20th century, the natural rubber latex, derived from the sap of the Hevea brasiliensis tree, was discovered to have the desirable properties of making gloves. The latex material offered excellent elasticity, comfort, and barrier protection. William Hassel, the American surgeon, William Hassel is often credited by introducing the use of rubber gloves in the medical field in the late 19th century. The connection of the latex gloves in law enforcement is crime scene investigation. Latex gloves are essential tool for police officers during crime scene or investigations. Personal protections. Latex gloves provide a protective barrier for police officers when handling potentially hazardous and substances, encountering situations where exposure to body fluids, chemicals, or other contaminants possible. Fingerprints. In the late 19th century, Galton conducted extensive research on fingerprints and published his findings in his book titled Fingerprints. In 1892, he introduced the fundamental principle of fingerprints identification, including the uniqueness and permanence of fingerprints, as well as the use of ridge patterns for classification purposes. The connection of fingerprints in law enforcement is cross-checking this against other prints in police's databases has the potential to link a series of crime together or to place the suspect at the same scene of a crime.
Barrier tape or police line. Inventor Harris Industries, which produces a variety of plastic warning tapes for purposes far beyond crime scenes, following the color codes recommended by federal standards in 1960s. Why yellow? Scientifically speaking, it's believed to be the most eye-catching color because of the way light bounces off the ice rods and cones. We see it more quickly than, say, red. Random people wandering around crime scenes contaminate evidence, potentially undermining a case. That's why it's possible to be arrested for crossing crime scene tape. In some states, the penalty is as much as 2 years in prison. Patrol car. Inventor Frank Loomis. The first police car was an electric wagon used by the Argonne Police Department in Akron, Ohio in 1899. The first operator of police patrol wagon was Officer Lewis. A police car is an ground vehicle used by police and law enforcement for transportation during patrols and responses to call for service.
Forensic sketching typically involves an artist creating a visual presentation of a suspect or person of interest based on the description provided by the witness or victim. This technique aims to help investigators generate leads and assist in identifying individuals involved in criminal activities. Forensic sketches are connected to criminology because they are an important tool used in criminal investigation and contribute to the understanding and study of criminal behavior. Joseph Nicephore Niepce, or Niepce, is often credited as one of the pioneers of photography. Louis Daguerre, in collaboration with Niepce, refined the early photographic process. William Henry Fox Talbot, or Talbot, is known for developing the calotype process, an early negative-positive photographic technique. George Eastman, or Eastman, is recognized for his significant contributions to photography in late 19th and early 20th century. Photography is connected to criminology in several ways due to its ability to capture and preserve visual evidence. The evolution of grenade-like devices continued throughout history. In the 15th and 16th centuries, the invention of the hand cannon led to the creation of hand-thrown explosive devices called grenados or grenados de mano. These early grenades were typically made from hollow iron or clay spears filled with gunpowder and ignited with a fuse. Bomb squad or specialized units, law enforcement agency often have specialized units such as bomb squads or tactical teams trained to handle explosive devices. William Marston, an American psychologist, is often credited with inventing the modern polygraph. John Augustus Larson, a medical student and police officer, made substantial advancement in the field of lie detection. Leonard Keeler, an American engineer and polygraph examiner, made further refinements to the polygraph technology in the 1930s. Lie detectors or polygraph tests are connected to criminology due to their application in criminal investigations and the study of deceptive behavior.
Serotonin was discovered in 1937 by Bailey and Erspamer. Serotonin has been called a behavior-regulating chemical. Studies at National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism have been linked low serotonin level in humans to impulsive crimes. Men convicted of premeditated murder have normal serotonin levels, whereas those convicted of crimes of passion had lower levels. And until now, criminology uses it as the factor that affects the criminal behavior of a offender. Oxytocin was discovered in 1909 by Sir Henry H. Dale. Oxytocin is a natural hormone that manages key aspects of the female and male reproductive system, including labor and delivery and lactation, as well as aspects of human behavior. A 2012 study of has been billed as the trust molecule so that increased level of a chemical messenger known as oxytocin helps to explain why some people are routinely giving and altruistic, while others are seen as cold-hearted and stingy. In the brain, oxytocin appears to be the chemical that creates bonds of trust in all types of human relationships. The relationship between the oxytocin and criminology is an active area of research, and continuous studies can provide valuable insight into understanding the neurobiological mechanisms underlying antisocial behavior in for potential interventions or prevention strategies. Criminal psychological profiling refers to the process of using evidence and information from both the victim and the crime scene, as well as the characteristics of the crime to form hypotheses about the type of person who might have committed it. Some crime scenes offer few significant clues which forces detectives to make imaginative leaps. This is where the developing science of investigative psychology can be utilized. John Douglas, a famed profiler and a retired FBI agent, was the founder of criminal profiling. Today, psychological profiling, also called criminal profiling and behavioral profiling, is used to assist police investigators seeking to better understand individuals wanted for serious offenses. Psychological profiling is built on the idea that behavioral clues left behind at the crime scene may reflect the personality of the offender.